stuff is so heavy.
What is it curling?
Go
ahead. You want to try to pick it? Oh, he's going to try to pick it up.
Yeah.
He's going to try to... Oh, yeah, leave it. Normal. You pick it up.
See the energy. All the energy it has on earth.
Anywhere to hold your hand.
It's okay. Let's see.
Hello, how are you? Hey, the mademoiselle, how are you? Come. How are you? How are you? You're fine? Wow. Rise and shine, Value Farm family. Welcome back to another episode of The Farm. If you are new here, you are most welcome. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and also turn your notification bells on. And of course, if you are a returning subscriber, you guys have a special place in our hearts. We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being part of the family. Thank you so much for loving Value Farm. Thank you so much for, seeing the progress that we have at the farm. I'm really super excited to be back at the farm very early in the morning. It's just 8 a.m. in the morning, but you can see the sun is already out. Yes, that's how beautiful it is here. But of course, we are going to be telling you guys the updates, what is new. I know you guys might have really thought that maybe we abandoned our pig project because it has been a minute without showing you guys what has been happening in our pig unit and what has been new, what we have currently, what we are doing different, and of course updates. We want to really update you guys on what is really happening here and how the pigs are doing, how the piglets are doing, all that, because I know we have so many people who have just joined the family and they don't know that we have the pig project running here. Value Farm is a mixed farm, so we have so much that is really going on, from the goats, the pigs, the rabbits, the chickens, that is poultry. The poultry has a lot, like the geese, the guinea fowls. We have the ducks, the Peking ducks, all that. So it is just amazing. We also have the sheep, we have the cows. To mention but a few, we have so much that we are really integrating into this farm. And of course, we want to share the knowledge with you guys and also share with you guys what we are currently doing at the farm. But for this particular video here, guys, we are going to be updating you guys on what is really happening at our pig house and what we are doing different. Some new things that we introduced to the pig house, because this is the permanent new structure that we have. Previously, if you remember, the people who have been watching this channel for a long time, you guys knew that we had our semi-permanent structure, which was a bit simple. You need to start small, but always think big. If you're a beginner, you can start with simple structures. You can start with something that is going to be to your pockets, to your budget. And of course, if you're starting, you don't need to really go really so big before you really get to understand how the business runs, how the project is going to run. That's how we start everything at the farm. We start small, but always have a bigger vision of how we are doing things here. So this is the permanent one. Of course, we modified it a little bit. We made it a bit fancy. We made it much bigger than the previous one, which is okay. But if you're starting out there, I would really advise you to start smaller. And of course, I'm going to show you a little bit of how the smaller bit or our semi-permanent structure used to look like. And of course, it's simple to make it. It's very, very good for you because I think it's really affordable, first of all, but it's also very good for the pig project that you're going to run. And of course, the system that we are using here, we are using IMO system, or deep litter system. It's a very clean way of how you can be able to bring up your pigs. The major focus today is this other project here, of course, the permanent structure. I want to take you guys there so that you can see what is really happening, because I'm really super excited. I know Some of our colleagues are already working inside there. I will show you guys, we shall participate. I will show you why they are doing that at very early in the morning. The pigs have already fed, but let's go and do the work together. Come along with me. Guys, before we get inside, we need to first disinfect ourselves. Yeah. Another thing that I need to really emphasize, guys, in case you have a pig project, you have to have biosecurity. Biosecurity is very, very important. Before you go into your pig house, before you construct a house, at least make sure that you have biosecurity. So this is our biosecurity. It's not the best one that we have for now, but at least it's doing the job. And of course, we are going to modify. You know, this structure has been built. We are still modifying things. We are working on so many things that are really happening here, but this is what we have. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray. So I'm spraying under my feet because I've been walking around the farm. So this is how I do it, guys. So let's get inside so that we can see what is really happening. I have my co-director on standby as well. You'll definitely see him as well so that we can be able to educate you more on pig farming, guys, and what is really happening at the farm. So this is what it is. Let's get inside so that we can see what's actually happening. So guys, we are here, of course, with my co-director.
Wow.
He's going to introduce himself if it's your first time seeing him here, and of course, say hello to you guys.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Grafton. So guys, yeah, we're here at the pig house. We know some of you have been requesting more pig content.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, we do all we can to give the people
what they want.
So now we're back at this pen, and I wanted you guys to see this one pig in front of us here.
Yeah, this one.
This is Lance's legacy. This pig just made 4 months. And look at the size. You remember, these are the pigs that we used to sing to.
Yeah, the
play
piglets.
with. We used to call.
Yeah.
We fed them. We spend time with them, so they're not afraid of people. They're very friendly. They actually seek out, you know, affection.
Yeah.
From the workers, you know, and from us here. And this pig is 4 months, and it's progressing really, really nicely. And part of actually rearing pigs, guys, you know, you have to make the tough decision to look for traits that you don't want to continue to have in your breeding.
Yeah.
As part of your breeding stock, right? And then you also look for the ones that will potentially make really, really good quality breeding stock. So we're thinking this one's not gonna make bacon anytime soon.
Anytime soon, we are keeping it
We're gonna
here.
keep this one.
Yeah.
And then we also have some of the others. Now, if you guys remember a video we did some time back, we did mention that we were gonna actually experiment with doing very early castration.
Yeah.
I know this is a controversial topic, but there's a reason we actually wanted to try this, because we're doing start to finish, guys.
Yeah.
Meaning, you know, the goal for the company is not to just sell piglets only, but the bulk of what we're doing with the pig unit here is to actually do start to finish, meaning they're going to be born here, and ultimately when they leave, they're going to end up going to the butcher itself, where we actually call them for the program. Look at this.
This one,
here.
he wants to be all over the place.
So ultimately, you know, we needed to see whether or not the theory was correct, that if we castrate some of the males, if we can actually keep a large number of them together without fighting, without any disruption of any kind. If you notice, there's no wounds in any of these pigs. They don't fight, they don't argue, and everybody gets along, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, the test so far seems to be working out okay. And plus, they're growing really, really rapidly at a very healthy and steady rate.
Very healthy stage. Everyone who comes here and looks at these piglets, thinks like, oh my God, how are they this big? How old are they? And when we tell them the month, they get really very surprised. That means the feeding that we're giving them is just so perfect. I think you guys saw us already when we were, you know, bringing in the feeds, because every week we have to stock in. We want these pigs to really grow healthy.
To have the best.
To have the best. And of course, we really give them the best concentrates. We give them the best feeds, and the feeding is timely. So you can really imagine how the how we take care of these pigs here at this farm.
And it's more than just a feed. Believe it or not, psychologically,
I know.
the fact that these guys actually spend time with them, we keep the environment very clean. We make sure they have the best we can give them in terms of feeds. But we also spend time with them.
True.
We also make sure that they know that they cared and they're loved here. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these pigs are going to go for processing, calling, if you will. So we want them to feel and have their absolute best life while they're here at Value Farm.
That is true.
And so we do the best we can for that. Behind us, the IMO spraying is beginning. And so this is part of what makes this system so great. Because now, as we're standing here, I literally could do a water Maya and stand here with a plate of food.
And eat your food here.
And have my lunch, have my dinner, have breakfast.
True.
In fact, I think I might even be able to put like a sleeping bag on that side and take a nap.
And take a nap and enjoy yourself with the pigs.
Only thing is they might eat me. Because if you're not moving,
They'll be like, what is this? Is this food?
and they might think it's extra snack. There's a lot of beef here.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, apart from us obviously practicing IMO here, what's really cool about this place is the feeding trough that we have on the side. We'll actually show you that more in depth in the B-roll.
Yeah.
And then we also have the actual nipples for them to
Nipples,
drink.
yes.
Because when it comes to pigs, guys, the number one thing people think is the feeds. Yes, the feeds are important. What's just as important, if not more so, is the access to water.
Yeah, true.
Because you know what? You can have all the feeds you want. If they can't drink, they're not going to eat as much.
No,
So
they
if they're
can't.
not eating as much, they're not going to put weight on as quickly as they should,
True.
right? And you'll find yourself asking, but the food is always here. How come they're not eating?
They're not eating.
That's the reason. You need to have water and you need to have the feeds, because most of the time, especially when they're eating maize bran, it's really dry. Even though we mix it with other components,
Yeah.
they need to literally take a few bites,
Then
drink
take
some
the water.
So
Yeah.
the more water they can drink, the more
The
they're
more-
going to eat.
yeah.
The more they eat, the more they're going to put on that healthy weight ratio you're looking for.
Yeah.
And so, but the reason there's a few things I wanted to actually point out to you guys.
Yeah.
You notice behind us here, we have this lovely chain hanging from the ceiling. It's not for decoration. There's an actual functional reason for that. Pigs are naturally curious. They like to dig, but they also like to chew. And sometimes what they'll chew on each other's ears.
Yeah, the bites.
And so they'll fight. They get bored because they're highly intelligent creatures.
Yeah.
So by putting this chain here, every once in a while you'll see them come. They'll bite on this. This is a way for them to actually put their teeth to good use apart from each other.
Yeah.
So that's why we actually have that here. We test it and it works.
It really works so
we don't
perfect.
find them climbing and fighting all the time. So that's really, really nice. But also, if you notice, the pen we're standing in here, it's not divided. And that was done by design.
Yeah.
Why was that reason?
To give them enough space to exercise, to
Yeah.
move around, really. Because now this were piglets, this section here were majorly for the weaned piglets. And
Yeah.
of course, we separate our piglets depending on the sizes.
size?
Yeah, so these ones you see here did not start like this. We had a bunch of them, but remember, as piglets grow, there are those ones that really put weight faster. Than the others. So as time goes on, we separate them
And we
according
keep
to the size.
separating them
We
too.
keep separating them. Even these ones here, as they grow further, we still separate them. And of course, as they grow bigger, we give them their own pens, which is on the other section
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. Now, something else you guys need to keep in mind when it comes to these pigs, right? Every single litter have a runt of the litter. It's the same holds true for dogs, same holds true for pigs, right? So with every single batch, we actually have one or two that comes out significantly smaller than most of the brothers and sisters prior, that comes from that same batch. So we actually have a runt unit, right? So we keep those guys together. And ironically enough, just because they're born small,
Yeah.
don't mean they're gonna remain that way.
No.
And I think one of the best pieces of advice that we got when we were actually selecting,
Exactly.
for
Please
the
advise
breeds,
them.
right?
Yeah.
Especially for those of you out there that are looking to start, when you go to the farm, don't necessarily pick the biggest.
The biggest, yeah,
The
sure.
biggest piglet you're gonna see amongst the bunch, because the giant that you see might just be having a growth spurt, but then the pig that you see that's actually more long, that has that linear body, can actually easily put on weight and may end up being the biggest out of the batch.
True.
So you want to look for the characteristics, right? The length, right? The length of the legs, the overall body composition of the piglet itself, not necessarily the weight and the mass of the piglet when you're selecting for your breeding selection.
That is so true. Another thing that most people really ask us in the comment sections whenever we put up these videos, is piggery really profitable? For beginners, I know these are the people who just want to venture and they're just wondering, guys, they've done their research, but is it really profitable? How are we benefiting from these pigs, from pig farming? There's a lot that you can be able to earn from pigs. You can do start to finish, you can sell piglets, you can do value addition. So there's a lot you can definitely benefit from piggery.
Yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, partner, but let me tell you guys, everything from the actual hair on the pigs itself could be used for brushes. The actual fat could be used for oil.
Oil, yes.
The actual, like, you know, the pork belly itself could easily be used for either pork belly cuts. You can make bacon. You can literally decide to go any which way you can. From the hooves to the ears to the tail, every part of the pig is used.
It's used.
You know, there's a saying in that from down south in the U.S. for those of you in South Carolina, Georgia, even out in Arkansas, from the rooter to the tutor, meaning from the head, from the very nose to the very tail of the pig, could be utilized. It
Oh
could be
my
eaten,
gosh.
Yeah, from the hooves
Wow.
to the tail to the snout to the ears, everything on these pigs can be utilized. So it's just a matter of preference. But yeah, to actually answer that question, of course, pig farming is profitable, and there's a big part of that business that you guys need to really truly pay attention to. It's a double-edged sword, right? Because some of you make the mistake of starting and going for what's considered cheap.
Yeah.
And we always tell you guys, cheap at time is way more expensive.
Expensive, yeah.
Because we get calls all the time. People do like our breeds. They like the quality that we have here at the farm. But then when we tell them the prices, right? Like they ask you, well, what about the ones for 100K?
100,000.
Guys, if anybody tell you they have exotic breeds and you show up at their farm and they're offering you piglets at 100K a pop, just know you're buying local pigs.
That is so true.
And when you buy local pigs, you're going to get exactly what you pay for. You know, they're not going to grow out the way you're looking for. They're going to eat the same amount of food, right? But by the same token, you're going to find yourself keeping those pigs at least 2 years.
That is so true.
Before they actually put on size. And some of those pigs will never get beyond even this size. And this pig here is only 4 months. Okay?
It's just made even 4 months.
So when we get this pig to the point where it's ready to either stay here or go, by the time this pig itself makes it to that 5th, 6-month time frame, it's going to be a giant.
It's going to be a giant.
Same thing goes for the brothers and sisters, because it starts with the genetics, the quality of the breed itself, right?
Yeah.
And of course, what you feed it and how you take care of the pigs overall.
That is so true.
So don't necessarily go for cheap, even if you just save enough money to get one quality sow. So you can literally start from there, because you know what? You can start with 2 pigs, with 2 piglets.
Yeah.
And literally within a matter of, like, by the time you get, based on how old you get the piglets, when you buy them, you can literally, if you get the ones out of 4 months, right? You can start from there, and within a matter of less than 5 months later, with just 2 sows, you can end up with at least 20 to 22, 24 pigs on your farm. And believe me, by the time you get to that number, you have a full-fledged operation on your hand.
Yeah.
So, you know, be mindful of that.
Of the breeds.
Look for the breeds. Go to a quality breeding place.
With
sure
records.
They're being well taken care of. Check for the records. Make sure there's no inbreeding taking place.
Yeah.
And you're on your way. So that's what I would tell you guys to look out for.
Wow.
Anything else there, Martha?
Thank you so much. I know these are the basics. These are the tricks we really give you guys whenever we come here, because we want to share all the best. Of course, how we have come to this, because I know most of you saw our beginning, how we started our farm from nothing. We didn't have even a structure before. But to what we have here, guys, it's a journey. And of course, we are giving you, we don't want you guys to do the same mistakes that we did before. And we want you guys to really do something that is really good, beneficial, that is going to benefit your farms out there. So, as I had already told you earlier on, that of course starting a pig farm, you don't need to go, you know, big like this one. We had a structure that we started with. Of course, it wasn't that very fancy, but it was very useful and we benefited from our pigs. We even sold some pigs, by the way, from here. So this is just like almost the second generation.
Yeah.
Yes, these are the second generation of the piglets that we have because the demand is very high. Most people really love.
Guys, we get requested from our purchasers, like we usually send after we process pork here. They call us constantly. And we're the ones that's like, okay, wait.
Wait.
We want to scale up a bit more.
Yeah.
We want to make sure we send you at least 100, 75 to 100 instead of just like, you know, 20 to 30, right? So at the end of the day, we can't produce enough. But then again, we do try our best to give the absolute best quality. So, you know, that matters, right? Because you want people to actually come for more.
Yeah.
You don't want them to come to you just because you're making quantity, because you know, there's a very big difference between just pork and premium pork. And your goal as a farmer, even if you're just starting, you want to get to the premium market. That's how you're going to make it.
True. And some people have been asking us, how are your pigs so clean? They're living like people. Guys, the secret is not anywhere. We show you what we're doing here. The IMO is the way to go. Make sure at least the bedding is deep enough. You keep adding your wood shavings. You keep using the IMO for them to live in a very comfortable bed like this one you see here. They'll be clean. And of course, we are going to show you guys the pool that we constructed for them. They go out to swim, because I can't wait to show you guys the actual video when they're going to swim outside.
They love water.
They love water.
And this is Uganda, and even if you're in an area where it gets cool, pigs cannot sweat. You guys know that they have no sweat glands.
Yeah.
They always want to be cool. They don't like the heat too much. To have a space where they can just go out and actually dip their toes in the water to roll around in something other than mud is truly beneficial.
That is so true.
So that's actually credit to all of you guys out there who actually wrote and asked, do we have a place for them to swim? So now officially we do.
We have. It's under construction, but it's almost being
done.
It's almost
see it very soon.
Yeah. But that is it for here. Let's just show you guys around. We show you different sections so that you get motivated, so that you have hope that Piggery is, by the way to go. Because I know you guys have been watching so much of the goat videos, but we also have the pig section here, which is really amazing that you guys...
Farm. We're a mixed farm.
We
love, you know what we do, but this was the foundation, of Value Farm when we first started.
Yeah, this is
and it's never going to change.
No. So let's take you guys around so that you can see our progress and, of course, the project going on here.
Okay, guys, so now we're in a different section. This is where we have the adult pig. This is actually the maternity ward here. This section is where we actually have the pregnant mothers. And the cool thing about what we've done so far, you guys know I'm very partial to some of the more heritage breeds. However, I'm a really big fan of the Durocs. There's no secret there. And soon we're going to be having Duroc piglets. I'm so excited. And
me too.
Well, at the farm in general, we have large whites, Canberra. We will soon have Duroc piglets, right, into the breeding program. We have Hampshires.
Landresses.
And we have Landresses. So those are the core, but to me, I'm really looking forward to the actual Durocs. Because I grew up around them. I'm very familiar with that breed. I'm familiar with the taste and the quality of the meat. And soon you will be too, hopefully.
Of course, when you come to the farm, you guys will taste the meat. When we talk about premium pork, guys...
There's a big difference.
There's a big difference. Because we've tested the pork here, like our own pork as well. But trust me, guys, you want to eat it every day. That's what I would really tell you.
All of these pigs are expecting at various timetables, obviously. We typically cross them, you know, either 3 at a time or 5 at a time, because you don't want to cross every single one of your females at the same time. It would be very hectic to have like 200 to 300 piglets being born at the same time. So that's something we would definitely advise you guys. If you have 6 females, 6 sows, you might want to actually breed them maybe like every 2 to 3 weeks apart.
Okay.
And yes, I know some farmers will tell you speed is the most important thing.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. Okay, I don't agree with doing chain breeding with your animals, right?
True.
Yes, time is money, but the overall health and quality of the pigs that you want to produce
Matter.
also matters. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's another nugget for you guys.
Oh, wow. I think that is really so much. We shall show you guys how the house really looks like. The house is well aerated, as you can see,
Yeah.
because there's wide space. The openings you can see, even the roofing. We have some light coming in because your pigs really have to have light inside. You don't want to keep your pigs in a very dark place, and you have to also maintain the space. You can see this one. This one is alone in its own space, but it's big enough. It can rotate, it can move around. We put for it even the chain, for it to bite on, to keep him busy, to keep her busy when she's just in her own section, which is really so amazing. So for any farmer out there who is going to maybe construct a structure, make sure space is really considered a lot.
Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. So just because you might not be able to start with a structure like this, even we did not start with a structure like this,
Nope.
right? What you do, you can actually start with a very basic approach,
Yeah,
with an eye towards doing better as you go along.
as you go on.
So don't be intimidated by the size and the level of the structure, because at some point you can start small and literally before you know it, you'll be doing much better than us. So you just stay with your plan, have a plan of action, plan of execution.
Exactly.
And I used to play football, guys. I know I might not look like it, but I was an American football player.
Okay.
And even when I coach, and I used to play defensive back and, of course, linebacker, running back in my early days in high school. The number one thing I still carry with me even till this day, when you play cornerback, those of you who are sports fans will understand this, right?
Yeah.
The number one attribute a footballer can have is short-term memory loss.
Okay.
That's one of the few things in life where not having a long-term memory helps you. So you need that when you start your business.
True.
Because you're going to have family members, you're going to have friends, you're going to have coworkers, you're going to have people in your church, they're going to be in your ear trying to insert doubt in your mind.
Yeah.
If this is what you want to do, if this is your dream, this is where stubbornness, even in women in this instance, is actually a valuable asset, right? It's a valuable, I would say, trait to possess.
Okay.
Because when you make your plan and you decide to start, you start, you move forward, and forget about all the naysayers. If they're not positive and supportive about what you're trying to do, block it out.
True.
And use that for fuel, use that for motivation. Believe me, even here in the village, right? When we first started, now when people see the trucks are leaving,
I know,
with truckloads of pigs going to be processed, that's what everybody's like, oh wow, I guess they really are doing it, right?
Something.
So you do this first and foremost for yourself, for whatever God you pray to, for your family, but you start and you stay with it. You don't give up.
That is so true. And remember, guys, we've been here barely for 1 year, but we've already started selling. So you can see how profitable it is. As long as you invest in the best breeds, you definitely sell as quick as possible because these pigs are going to grow faster.
And you're not going to have to go out to look for the market. The market will come to you.
Will come for you.
And ironically enough, even the vets that come here to actually visit the farm, they talk. They have other farms that they go to. They actually know other people in the market, people that are in the meat in the meat industry, and they talk amongst each other. They already tell, oh my God, this particular farm, they have quality. That other farm over there, those pigs are a little suspect. You might not want to buy from them. So as long as you do the best job you can, the rest will take care of itself.
That is so true. Wow, because those are the people who recommend to other people. Because we've got some people who wanted to buy piglets from here. So when we told them that the price and like, let me try elsewhere. When they go, the other people are the ones who have the best ones.
They come back.
They come back. They call back and say, you guys, I've tried elsewhere, but let me just surrender and, pay
Even
for
our competitors tell them
Yeah.
that we have some of the better options here.
Exactly.
And that's actually a great compliment.
It's a great compliment. So, guys, whoever wants to start a pig farm, at least be mind about your quality. quality matters. Guys, in case you have any questions out there, I know most of you are burning with some questions that you wanted to know about pig farming. Please leave them down below so that we can definitely come next time so that we can answer all your questions. But this is the progress so far. This is what is new so far. I know most of you have watched the previous videos, but at least there's some few things that you've learned from this video. If in case you've learned something, you can still leave your comment down below. And please share these videos with your friends and families. Tell a friend to tell a friend always, because you don't want to keep all this knowledge to yourself.
Don't be selfish.
Do not be selfish,
Do
guys.
not. Let me tell you something. This is another one, and I'm sorry, I know we're closing this out, and I don't want to make this an hour-long video.
Yeah.
Guys, when we started on this journey, we spoke to a lot of farmers. Some gave us great information, and a lot of them did not give us such good information.
True.
At the end of the day, when it comes to what you guys are trying to do, we want to share our knowledge. We want to share what we've learned.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, we've made mistakes. Mistakes were made.
Yeah, of course.
You understand? Mistakes were made, and we learned, and we've actually improved on that. And so when we come here to testify, we're not just going to bring you all the positive.
Yeah.
We're going to bring you the truth.
The truth.
You understand? Because let's face it, at the end of the day, you know, finding resources like this is kind of tough to come by. Everybody have their own philosophy, and that's why we always tell you guys to do your own research.
Your own research.
But we're sharing real life experience with you guys, what we experienced, what we went through.
Yeah.
And for those of you out there that are fellow farmers, don't be selfish with your knowledge.
True.
If somebody come to your farm, if they take the time to travel, if they reach out to you, you know, you should definitely try to reach back out and actually share what you can.
What you can.
Don't give people wrong information, you know, because you know what? We're in a country with over 47 million people. We know what's happening to the price of food right now.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Maybe a year or two ago, farming wasn't a sexy career choice to be in.
Yeah.
Right now, with the way food prices are
going
shifting,
up.
believe me, this is a very, very lucrative time to not just get into farming to make money, but to get into it to actually do something for your community.
Yeah, to
help
help.
address food insecurities in your region. And it's a very noble cause, right?
Yeah, true.
And, you know, if you can make money and help others, you know, what more can you ask for?
That is it, guys. I don't have anything to add on that. Tell a friend to tell a friend, tell your friends and family, and also subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us on our social media platforms like Instagram, Value Farm UG, Facebook, Value Farm UG. Then we also have our Patreon account. We have PayPal in case you want to support the farm, you want to support the channel. Please do not be afraid to join membership in the channel as well, because anything that you contribute, of course, supports everything, supports the cause of Value Farm. But we love you guys so much. We really appreciate your love and support, your motivation, and everyone who is a diehard of Value Farm. We love you. You guys have a special place in our hearts.
Love and appreciate you guys.
Exactly.
And the one last thing, the reason we want you guys to follow us on Instagram, that's where this maestro here, she posts a lot of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yes.
And our numbers on Instagram are looking very pedestrian. So please go there, follow. Okay, so that so we can get that official check mark, right? So people know that this is the official one.
This is the real farm, yeah.
Right? So then that way you guys can get your shorts, you can get your
true.
fix in between the time we release videos.
Yeah, that is so true, guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.